Hey, this is Rebecca Westman, and you're listening to the Wedding Collective podcast. Hey there, lovebirds. This podcast is your one-stop shop for wedding planning. I'll connect you with amazing local vendors, we'll hear from real couples, and of course, I'll be sharing my own wedding photographer insights to help make your dream wedding day a reality. So whether you're sipping coffee with your wedding planning checklist or just daydreaming about your perfect day, this podcast is your new best friend. Tune in for inspiring stories, practical tips, and lots of love. This is the Wedding Collective podcast. Let the wedding adventure begin. Welcome back to the Wedding Collective podcast. Are you feeling overwhelmed by all of this wedding planning stuff? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. Every other week, I have been sharing a wedding planning 101 episode. And in today's episode, we are diving into one of the most important steps that can make or break your big day: assembling your dream team of vendors. These incredible professionals are like the fairy godparents of your wedding. They'll capture those priceless moments you'll cherish forever. They turn your vision into a reality, keep the food flowing, and make your dance floor into a legendary party zone. At the end of this episode, you will be equipped with the knowledge and confidence to find the perfect vendors to bring your wedding vision to life and make your special day truly unforgettable. So grab a pen and a notebook, put your planning mode on, and let's get at it. Let's start with where to find these amazing vendors. Here are a few really great options. Number one being social media. Look up the location of where your wedding will be and use hashtags. You can use your local area and throw on the vendor you're looking for. So because I'm mostly serving Lloydminster and surrounding area, here is what I would do if I were you. I would look up these hashtags: Lloydminster wedding, Lloydminster wedding venue, Lloydminster wedding photographer, Lloydminster videographer. And then of course you can tag on, whether you are looking for a DJ or a band or a florist. The list goes on and on and on. So start there. And then of course, once you click on their profile, you can start sifting through their content and deciding if you like what you see. And from there, you can contact them. The second thing is local reviews. Don't underestimate the power of online reviews. Look for vendors with consistent positive feedback on platforms like Google Reviews and Facebook. The last thing is recommendations. Ask family members, friends, or even recently married couples for recommendations on vendors that they loved working with. And I'll get a little more into that in a minute, but before I do, I also wanted to throw out this brand new website for finding your wedding photographer. It is amazing. It's just called CanadianWeddingPhotographers.com, and you can head to their website, click on the area or province that you are getting married in, and start sifting through some photographer profiles. That's another really great resource for you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about recommendations. Recommendations are pure gold, and here is why. Number one, personal experience. Recommendations come from people who have already gone through the process and can vouch for the quality of a vendor's services. They can share their experience and insights beyond what a vendor's website might be able to show. The second thing is for if you have a similar style or budget. If you ask friends or family who got married with a similar style or budget, their recommendations are even more valuable. They can connect you with vendors who understand your aesthetic and can work within your price range. The last thing is vendor reliability. A glowing recommendation speaks volumes about a vendor's professionalism, reliability, and ability to deliver on their promises. So, how do you get some recommendations? Start with your network. Talk to recently married friends, family members, or even colleagues who recently planned a wedding. And don't be shy to ask specific questions. Once you get a recommendation, ask for details. What did they love about the vendor? Would they recommend them to others? And remember, while recommendations are a great starting point, it's still important to do your own research and due diligence before hiring any vendor. Moving on, let's talk about setting up consultations. Once you've identified some potential vendors, it's time to reach out. Most vendors offer free consultations, which are a great way to get to know them, discuss your vision, and see if they're a good fit for your style and personality. Here are a couple tips for a successful consultation. Number 1, come prepared. Have a list of questions ready, including your budget, wedding date, and desired services. Going into consultations armed with a list of questions shows vendors you're organized and serious about finding the perfect fit. Here are some key questions to include. Clearly state your overall budget and inquire about packages or services that align with it. Don't be afraid to ask for customized options if needed. Also, share a rough outline of your wedding day schedule. This will help the vendor understand how their services would integrate into the flow of events. The other thing is stating your specific needs and requests. Do you have specific dietary restrictions for guests, a unique vision for your centerpieces? Clearly articulate any special requests that you may have. And then there's logistics and backup plans. Ask about their arrival time, setup process, and approach to handling unexpected situations. Bonus tip, bring along a copy of your wedding inspiration board, whether that's physical or digital, to visually communicate your desired aesthetic. By coming prepared, you'll have a productive consultation that sets the stage for a successful collaboration with your chosen vendors. Now, before consultations, spend some quality time exploring the vendor's online portfolio. Here's what to pay attention to. Get a sense of the vendor's aesthetic fingerprint. Do their photos have a light and airy feel or a dramatic and moody vibe? Do their floral arrangements lean towards classic elegance or whimsical playfulness? Look for examples that resonate with your vision. For photographers, are there photos with lighting and editing styles you love? For caterers, do they showcase plated meals or family-style presentations that align with your preferences? Look into client testimonials. Many vendor websites include testimonials from past clients. Read these to gain insights into the vendor's work ethic, professionalism, and ability to deliver a positive experience. And their social media presence. Explore the vendor's social media profiles like Instagram and Facebook. This can offer a glimpse into their work beyond curated portfolio pieces and reveal their brand personality. Remember, don't just skim the surface. Take the time to delve into the details and see if the vendor's work consistently reflects the style you envision for your wedding. A vendor consultation is also the time where you have the chance to peek behind the curtain and understand how they operate. Here are some key questions to ask regarding their process. Write these down. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to remind you that if you're looking for a wedding photographer, I would love to work with you. I am booking into 2025, but still have a couple of spots available in 2024. Head over to www.rebeccawestman.com/contact and fill out my short and sweet inquiry form. If I'm available for your date, we'll set up a time to chat all about your wedding day dreams and make sure we're a great fit for each other and get to planning. Now, enjoy the rest of the episode. The first one is workflow and timeline. Inquire about their typical workflow for your specific service, whether that's photography, catering, whatever. Understanding their timeline will help you manage expectations and ensure everything flows smoothly on your wedding day. Number 2, communication style. How often and through what channels do they prefer to communicate? Email, phone calls, online portals. Open and consistent communication is crucial, so ensure their style aligns with your preferences. Number 3, collaboration and client input. Did they encourage client input throughout the planning process, or did they have a more predefined approach? Understanding their level of collaboration will ensure you feel involved in creating your dream wedding. Number 4, backup plans. I was at a wedding recently that was all outdoors. The DJ was outside and it started pouring rain. You need to find out what the backup plan is for a situation like that. Or what if a photographer or videographer's equipment malfunctions? Do they have a backup plan to ensure those precious moments are captured? Ask about these things in those consultations. And by asking these questions, you'll gain valuable insight to the vendor's work style and professionalism. It will also help you assess if they're a good fit for your personality and communication preferences. So, making the decision. After consultations, it's time to narrow down your choices. So here are some things to consider. Experience. While some couples might be open to working with newer vendors, experience can be crucial for ensuring a smooth and successful wedding day. Experienced vendors bring a wealth of knowledge and have likely encountered and overcome various challenges on wedding days. They can navigate unexpected situations with a calm demeanor, ensuring your celebration runs smoothly. But don't discount newer vendors. They often bring fresh perspectives and innovative ideas to the table. If their portfolio resonates with your style and they demonstrate professionalism during consultations, they could be a fantastic choice. The other thing is chemistry. This is your wedding and you'll be spending a lot of time with these vendors. Make sure you feel comfortable and have a good connection with them. One thing I like to say is do a vibe check. This is your wedding and you'll be collaborating closely with these vendors throughout the planning process and on the big day itself. So a good vibe check is essential. And here's how to do that. First of all, you need to ask yourself, did the consultations feel comfortable and engaging? Were they attentive to your questions and vision? Their personality should complement yours, creating a collaborative and enjoyable experience. And lastly, does their interaction inspire trust and confidence? This is crucial as you'll be entrusting them with capturing precious memories or ensuring a seamless catering operation, whatever it may be. Then we get down to the nitty-gritty, the contract and the pricing. Be sure to carefully review contracts before signing. Understand everything included in the package pricing and discuss any additional costs upfront. Before signing any contracts, take time to thoroughly review them. Here is what to pay attention to. Package inclusions. Ensure a clear understanding of everything included in the quoted price. Are there limitations on service hours, overtime charges, or travel fees? Request a detailed breakdown of costs if the package pricing isn't already transparent. This will help you avoid any surprises later. The other thing is your payment schedule. Understand the payment schedule and any deposits required. Ensure it aligns with your budget and financial timeline. And lastly, the cancellation policy. Review the cancellation policy in case of unforeseen circumstances. Remember, don't hesitate to negotiate. Many vendors are open to discussing pricing within reason, especially if you're booking multiple services with them. Now, by carefully considering all of these factors, the experience, the chemistry, and contract details, you'll be well on your way to selecting the dream team of vendors who will turn your wedding vision into a reality. So I hope that this episode gave you some valuable insights into finding and hiring the perfect wedding vendors. I really hope you took notes because there was a lot of information in this little episode. I'm going to post a concise and easy to read blog post with all of this information included. So check out the episode description for a link to that post. So to wrap things up, remember to take your time, do your research, and trust your gut feeling to assemble your dream team. Speaking of dream teams, next week I will be back here with my second shooter. We are going to talk all things wedding photography and why you might want to consider hiring a second shooter. We'll also chat about how we met, which is when she hired me to shoot her wedding. So definitely check that episode out next Tuesday. Now, before you go, if you enjoyed this episode or found it helpful, please take a quick screenshot and share it to your stories on Instagram or Facebook. This is one of the best ways to get the information out there that this podcast exists and that it is helpful for couples who are in the process of planning their wedding. It would mean the world to me, so thank you. Now that is all for today. I really hope you found this episode helpful. Don't forget to check out my corresponding blog post in the show notes, and I will see you next Tuesday. Until then, happy planning!